In this video, I'll be demonstrating how to use a Motex 6600 labeler. To unload a roll of labels from the Motex 6600, we open up the base plate by pulling back on the two tabs on either side. That'll pop open a main base plate and then an inner base plate as well. Open the hood of the gun, take the roll of labels off the spool, and they should just pull straight out. To change a roll of labels in the Motex 6600, first we open the base plate. You can do that by pulling the two tabs on either side backwards, and that'll open the main base plate, and then just use your finger to open the small inner base plate. Open the hood and take our roll of labels. Now the Motex 6600 can use either inwound or outwound labels. This is an inwound roll, meaning that the label itself is on the inside of the roll. So we take our roll and we straighten out about 10 centimeters worth of labels. And we're going to feed that into the top of the gun and through the hole in the middle. And we want to make sure, whether it's inwound or outwound, that the labels are facing, the actual paper itself is facing upwards. Once you can see it coming out the bottom of the gun, we put the roll of labels onto the spool and close the head. So we present about 10 to 15 centimeters worth of labels, and then we're going to close this inner base plate. And you want to make sure you do it at the end of a label so that it can wrap around nice and easy like that. We close that down, close the main base plate, and then depress the trigger. And we've loaded the Motex 6600. If you notice on the label that the ink is printing faintly, it's probably time to change the ink roller in your Motex 6600. To do so, we open the front of the gun by pulling back on this tab that presents this little hatch, and you'll see a little tab inside there, which is a cradle holding the ink roller. So we take our new ink roller, we open up the pack, then we take the ink roller in the cradle, use a tissue here just to pop it off that cradle. So you'll see that it pops off on both sides. Put that to one side. Now, I always wear gloves when I do this because, especially for this part, the ink does have a tendency to potentially get on your fingers. So we take our new ink roller out of the pack, and then we're going to put it into the cradle. And you'll see there's these two little hooks here. We just drop it into those, and then the ink roller clicks in on both sides. Hold the cradle by this little tab, and then we put it back into the labeler, and it just hangs loosely there until we close this hatch. Once your ink roller is changed, you should notice that the print is once again nice and bold and crisp. If you notice that the print on your Motex 6600 is too far to the left or the right of the label, there's an easy adjustment you can do. They've got this really convenient Phillips head screw right at the front here. Now, depending on how loose or tight you make this, it will change where it prints on the label from the left to the right. So you can change it, put out a few labels, see if you like where it is, and if you need to adjust it, you just adjust that to the left or the right, and it will change where it prints onto the label. A unique thing about the Motex 6600 is that if you want to print a blank space on the print head, set that character to one of the yellow spaces, and that will let you print a blank part of the label. What you don't want to do is set it to any of the black positions, because that's where it would normally be printing at the bottom of the gun.